Welcome to Happy Tales, Collier County Domestic Animal Services adoption show. Sit back and relax because over the next half hour, we're going to show you some adorable dogs, cats, and other cuddly creatures that would make a great addition to your family. And now, here's the host of Happy Tales, Troy Miller. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very, very special edition of Happy Tales. I'm Troy Miller, along with my beautifully talented co-host, Marjorie Bloom. We're here with not only the Yard Gang, but with some DAS staff members today because it's our 300th episode. Yay! 300th episode of Happy Tales.
And we've got DAS alumni dogs and cats here. And
I know we've got a bunch of special guests. We're still going to have some adoption pets, but we're going to talk about some success adoption stories. We're going to talk about what we call foster failures. That's where you foster a dog and you just can't give it back. It happens.
There's a lot of foster failures.
There's a lot, but you know what? We encourage that kind of failure. We're just like that. I want to remind everybody, this is Happy Tales Domestic Animal Services Dog and Cat Adoption Show, and what other animals we want to throw in there. We want to remind everybody that Domestic Animal Services is at 7610 Davis Boulevard, just east of the Boys and Girls Club, just east of Santa Barbara Boulevard, and we're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for adoptions. We're going to get started with this fabulous show, and we'll be right back with our first success story right after this. Our first adoption success story, or one of our many adoption success stories, is Kathy Rea Home. Am I saying it right? I'm so good. I practice all the way here. Kathy, this is only 2 of your dogs. Tell me about these 2 and how you came to adopt them.
2 of 11.
Okay. She was a mess. She was found on Immokalee Road laying next to her brother who had been hit by a car and was dead.
Oh, and now who is it? What's her name?
This is Tala.
Okay.
And she's about 5 years old now. So she was pretty much a train wreck when I brought her home. She's still very shy and not real trusting of strangers, but she's great with all of our dogs and cats, and she's really just a sweet, smart girl. Great girl.
It just goes to show you no matter what a dog or a cat may be like when you adopt them from here, with the right amount of love and caring, you get this wonderful animal you see right here. Now, it's too bad you couldn't get a cuter dog to hold in your other arm.
Oh, I have him at home.
Charlie couldn't come.
This one's adorable. Who's this?
This is Sprout. And Sprout, I was asked to foster Sprout about 4 years ago.
That's one long foster.
Yeah. He was only 2.5 pounds and he wouldn't eat, and they were concerned that he was going in the wrong direction. Well, after you nurture something back to health, it's very hard to hand it back.
Sure.
So Sprouty became another family member. Yes.
Yes, this is a successful foster failure. If that makes oxymoronic, but we like it.
Kathy, how many fosters do you have at home right now? And you probably have never counted how many dogs and cats you've fostered over the years.
No, my husband told me I should have kept track, and I started jotting it down, but it's just so gratifying. Right now, we have a mama and 4 babies, 4 puppies, and they're actually going to be coming in next week to be spayed and neutered, and I think they're all spoken for. And we have to get somebody for the mama because the mama is precious.
I also want you to know, besides fostering and besides adopting, Kathy is a great member of the Yard Gang. She's always coming down doing our meet and greets. She
works special events
everything.
with us. Yes.
Kathy's driven to Gulf Coast, to Manatee County, SVS. She's always on call, and she always answers with yes.
We say it a lot. We couldn't run this show without our volunteers, and they do so much around here. We are exposing the one danger of being a volunteer. You're probably going to accumulate some dogs and cats. My dogs couldn't make it today. They're both from here. They're both success stories. Actually,
my dogs couldn't make it either,
they were
but
free to
they're
come.
from
I
here
just didn't have anybody to bring. People ask me all the time, "How do you do that show without adopting dogs?" Well, you do.
You do.
So, but it's a very rewarding and it's a very great thing. We have a great stock of dogs and cats down here. 252 Pets. That's 252-7387.
And they're $20 in October.
Dogs, $20 all October. Are kittens still walking out the door for free? We're still smitten with kitten. We've got a lot of cats, so come down, get 1, get 2, give them a great home. We're going to see our next success story right after this. Oh, well, this little innocent moment you're capturing here between dog and owner. This is Hank. This is Patty. Patty's another one of our great volunteers here. And who's this over here, Patty?
Fred.
Fred, that's right, I forgot. Now, tell me about Fred.
Nice team.
Tell me about Hank and tell me about Fred and how they came to be members of your family.
Hank was up for adoption, and I was thinking about fostering, and Marjorie said, "What are you fostering him for? He's gorgeous. Take him home." He is, if you Google it, he is a Louisiana.
Peer pressure, right?
He is a Louisiana Catahoula leopard hound. And
His eyes are spectacular.
I was going to name him Frank for Frank Sinatra for the blue eyes, but here we go. Turn around, baby. There you go. Yeah.
He's a love. He is just a love.
And he's very smart. And I've had him 5 years, and everybody stops me on the street about him.
Well, yeah, I see you walking him. We don't live that
Yeah,
far from each other. He's a
right.
gorgeous dog, even from a distance, you can tell.
Nobody asked a thing about this one.
Oh, no, that's not nice.
Oh, Fred,
Fred,
what's the matter?
I was here a week, and this dog was bouncing in the kennel. He's always in plie. His feet go the wrong way. His his teeth are crooked. There's not much normal with him.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing still over plie. That's
Plie.
nice. I know,
Oh, no,
it's
fifth position. It's
There
fifth
you go.
position.
Ballet, the dog's a ballet dancer.
Yeah. But he's a good boy and very loud for a little dog.
That's always the way it is,
Yeah,
isn't it?
always
The little
the way
ones are
it
loud.
is.
He's probably much louder than
And
Hank here.
you know what I want to ask Patty, how many fosters do you have right now at home?
Oh,
At
no,
your
no,
house?
just 2 kittens. And a dog, yeah.
friend.
Forgot
Yeah,
it was
She
a
can't even
foster.
keep track of how many she's
Right.
fostering, yeah?
And you know what the other great thing is, and Michelle is over there, but he wouldn't be on the show today.
Yeah.
He's too handsome.
Yes, exactly.
Shy.
You know what? Patty and Michelle are here like every single day. Every single
I
day.
love it.
They
Better
do.
than being in an office.
Patty sends out all the emails to the yard gang at night, tells us what went on. She's just one of our great volunteers along with her husband. And I got to tell you, we couldn't do it without Patty and Michelle in the
We
yard.
couldn't do it without all of them because they all have certain things that they bring to the shelter, and it works perfectly. But
Well, and
come on, we need
you're
more.
seeing here what adoption success stories are like. I mean, look at the way that Patty and just talking about this dog, and the way Kathy before was talking about her dog, they really do become members of your family. And
yeah.
you get in this, you're talking about Fred jumping up and down. That was probably all it took, right?
Boing, boing, like that, yeah.
That's how it works. One thing tends to
Oh,
get
how cute.
Yeah, one thing tends to get you, and they reel you in. Want to remind everybody we're open for adoption Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're at 7610 Davis Boulevard. Give us a call. Come on down. Find your next pet.
And just so you know, too, Patty and Michelle have been volunteering like for 8 solid years.
Well, do they ever go home, or they've been here the
So
whole 8
once in a
years?
while they go home. They
Once in a
just live
while,
down
bring
the
a
street.
pillow.
Let's see what's coming next. Wow, this gorgeous fella here is Micah. And Micah brought his owner with him today, Gordon. Gordon, tell me about Micah.
Mike is almost 4 years old. We've had him almost 4 years, and he's from DAS, and he's a great dog. We're still taking him to training, and he's
so
getting
pretty.
better every day.
He's so pretty. And I just want you to know a little bit about Gordon and Joni, another happily married couple who come and volunteer at DAS on a daily basis.
So you're saying we keep marriages together?
Absolutely. It's called marital bondage. If
Oh, I thought you
come
were gonna
to
say
DAS.
therapy.
No, miracle bondage. And but it's great because there are a lot of couples together, and Gordon does the cats, Joni does the dogs, and we're sorry that she couldn't be here today. But again, really stellar volunteers, and just couldn't do it without them.
Well, and I think you're seeing today, too, that the quality of animals that you can get from down
Yes,
here at DAS.
yes.
I mean, these dogs have all been gorgeous, even in spite of Fred's tooth. These dogs have all been gorgeous.
And you know what? They've been loved, they've been nurtured, they've been trained. Everything's gone right for these dogs because of the owners.
Now, Gordon, did you or Joni adopt? Who fell in love first here?
Well, actually, my wife became acquainted with Micah first, but it was instant bonding for the whole family.
Yeah.
It's a great dog.
I'll quickly tell my story. Back in the old days when I wasn't hosting, I was doing the show out behind the cameras, and one day we're doing the show, and the door opened, and they came in carrying this small dog, and our eyes locked.
Oh,
And all the way up here, and the whole time when I told Bill before we left, I says, I think I'm going to adopt that dog. It happens that quick.
and you know what would be really great if Bill would adopt a cat today, because we're always on him to adopt, right? Right.
Well, you think he's down on his inventory of cats, but he's really not. He was just at a surplus before.
Oh.
All right. Well, Gordon, I want to thank you for bringing Micah on, and thank you for volunteering at DAS.
Thanks, Gordon.
Wow, this beautiful cat here is Ali, and Ali came with her owner today, Darcy Andre, the director here at Domestic Animal Service. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me today.
Now, I would imagine more than just about anyone, volunteers, a guy that comes here every 2 weeks to do a show, you must be under a lot of pressure to take animals home. Internal pressure.
Don't ask me how many I have at home.
Yeah,
Right,
we're not
we
going to do that. But tell me specifically about Ali and how you met.
Well, this is Allie here, and actually one day when I came into work back in 2010, there was a cardboard box. Oh, she's growling right now. There was a cardboard box completely duct taped shut. When I picked the box up, I could hear a cat in there. Opened it up, and she was a 4-week-old kitten. She was completely emaciated, very sick, really poor condition. So, of course, when we brought her in here, we got her well and got all that. She went into foster with me, and the station never came back. Hi, Allie. Don't you growl, baby girl.
I know. Well, she's a little nervous. It's her first television appearance.
And how many animals, can you say that out loud on television, do you have?
More
From
than two.
DAS.
More than two. Now, how long have you been the director here?
I have been the director since January 2014.
And we have some incredible adoption rate here, and you know, our outreach is tremendous here, your volunteers. What do you want people to know, maybe a message about DS that people don't think about or may not know?
Just all the amazing animals we have here. Every day I come in here and it's all the animals we have. I mean, it doesn't matter what breeds or like that. They're just all so amazing and also unique, and they're also deserving of a home. So
yeah, that's the one part I think that tugs at everybody's heartstrings here. You look at these animals and you know, especially if you've already got an animal, how grateful they are and the unconditional love that they get. And you see an animal in a shelter and you think, well, they deserve that opportunity too.
And you know what I love about Darcy is that this shelter has never been like this until Darcy came along. Our live release rate is incredible, and every dog and cat that Darcy sees is deserving of being adopted. They are never too old, they are never too sick. She just saves them all.
in fact, I actually just have a foster that I adopted recently. I brought him home. He was a 17-year-old cat. I brought him home as a hospice cat. Thought, give him the last 2 weeks of his life. Named him the Dude because he's pretty rough looking and all that. The Dude's been around for 6 months now, and he's not going anywhere. So I figured that he passed the 2 weeks at hospice.
I'm not sure you understand what hospice is, Darcy.
But you know what? He hit the jackpot with Darcy and Keith. He really did.
So I just finally adopted him a couple weeks ago. So now the Dude's official part of the family.
An official member of the Andrade family. There you go. And every time I come in your office, there's always an animal in there, by the way.
I always have something in my office. Yes.
And real quick, what do you want to say about your volunteer staff? We always tout their praises on here on the show, but I'm sure they'd love to hear it from the lady in charge.
We could not do what we do here at Domestic Animal Services without our volunteers. Our foster volunteers, our shelter volunteers, they make everything possible here. So I thank them all tremendously.
All right, so this was Ali and Darcy, our director here at DAS. We're going to be back with more animals. Well, of course, we do this show at Domestic Animal Services, and Domestic Animal Services is a division of the Public Services Department, and the department head is Steve Carnell. Steve, thanks for stopping by today to help us celebrate our 300th episode. What do you think of Happy Tales as the director of the division that runs this show? I'm sure you get comments about it. In fact, you've actually adopted an animal that was either here or been on the show.
We've adopted 2 animals from here, actually, and it's amazing. The show is amazing. It's a great idea. It's a terrific way to connect with the community. And the fruits of the labor that come out of this show are part of a larger effort that has transformed our community. When we've gone to a situation years ago where most of the animals coming in the door were getting put down, and now it's like 13 out of every 14 that come in the door to go to a family.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. And we saw the need to do this show early on. Bill, what did you tell me the year was? It 2004?
June 2004.
June in 2004 is when we started the show. So we've been doing this for over 14 years now, 300 episodes. And Bill and I get a lot of places here in the county to do a lot of things for the county, but I only get recognized for being on the show.
Have you been part of all of them, Troy?
No, I have not. We were going to try to pull together some of the hosts that we've had in the past of the show. We started with a young lady named Camden Smith, who left the county for a while, is now back working in the Growth Management Division. We followed her up with Haley Alonso, I believe was next, correct?
Yeah.
Haley Alonso did the show for a while, and then when Haley left, Daniel Christenberry did the show for a while. Yeah. And then finally, my boss said to me, he says, "You're pretty loud and goofy. Why don't you give a shot at hosting the show?" That's when Marjorie came on board. Actually, Katie Seibert, who was the former volunteer coordinator, started doing the show with me. She's moved on to other things in the county. And Marjorie and I are now we get a lot of comments about how much fun we have on the show.
Yes, we do. We do.
Well, that's for sure. When I watch it, I just get a really good vibe. Enjoy. You can tell you all are enjoying what you do. And that's another important message to get out there, to remind people that animals are fun, animals are a blessing, and they're to be enjoyed and cared for.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Steve. We're going to look at some more success stories and some dogs and cats for adoption, too. Oh, this gorgeous boy here is Will. Will is a neutered male black domestic short hair, 7 years old, and Will's number is 230369. Will's been here 10 months, which is a long time. We need to get Will into a home, don't we, Marjorie?
Yes,
and you know
we
how I
do.
feel about the all-black cat right down to the black whiskers. Love it.
He's a nice boy. I mean, you can see he's calm, he's sweet, and perfect for a senior. You know, if you're a senior, you got to adopt a senior.
Yeah, you talk about that all the time, and it
It's
just makes so
important.
much sense.
Well,
It's a great way to encourage or to give you better odds of having a successful
But
relationship with
you know
that
what?
animal.
Nothing makes me sadder than when you see somebody coming in my age and adopting a kitten, because you know what?
It's a lot of work.
Well, but that kitten's going to live for 20 years, and you know.
Oh, well,
I don't
okay,
think
there's that too.
I
But
mean, and because we get cats and dogs, so people have to go to assisted living or
Sure.
whatever, they die, we get the animals. You know, you just really need to think about
so
it.
take a moment to think as you
Absolutely.
plan that out. And talking about planning, we're talking about fostering. And we had Megan on earlier, and Megan told us she got involved in fostering because of Heather here.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather's wonderful work with videos. Heather, welcome to Happy Tales.
Hi.
You've never seen Heather, but we always mention
We've
her.
tried to
her
get Heather
daughter
on the show a
Riley.
couple of times. We finally got her on the show today. Well, okay, how did this all start for you? How did you get into fostering cats?
Oh my gosh. I've been a volunteer for years, and honestly, I don't know how fostering got on my radar, but I am so thankful it did. And I cannot believe I didn't do this years and years and years ago.
And how many fosters have you had so far this year in 2018?
Well, I can tell you I started fostering last 2017 in August, and over the
Okay.
course of that year, 61. Now into my next year, 11.
Hey.
My goodness.
Unbelievable. And she has dogs at home. When Heather brings back one of her fosters, it's so great to say, these kittens have been with other cats, other dogs. We know that they're
Yeah, because that
socialized and
socialization
friendly.
is a big part of,
Absolutely.
that's what we talk about that a lot around here, because our animals do get a lot of socialization because of our volunteers. What's the process like for you as you help these cats develop a trusting, caring bond with you, and then you have to bring them back in? I'm assuming that's hardest the first time.
I was a foster failure on my first group with one of them, and I swore I will never do that again, because I went into fostering thinking, okay, if I'm going to do this, I cannot foster fail.
It's a slippery slope, I would imagine.
It is, but the thing that you have to, what I started really keeping in mind and what makes it so much easier is knowing there's more that need help. There's always, always more. I don't think I have, since I started, been without a foster coming back with me when I bring some in.
And I would imagine these fosters have such great socialization being done in their foster homes. That really would increase their chance of adoptability. So you got a pretty good idea when you bring your cats back, they're going out to a loving home. So the gifts that you've instilled are going to be shared by someone else now for years to come.
Yes, I hope so.
Because if not, you're coming back and getting them.
That's right. And of all the fosters that I've had, every single one of them has found a home. Except for two, which are still here, Bingo and Jingo.
My favorites, my favorites.
Well, Bingo and Jingo aren't on the show today, but we will encourage you to come down here and adopt them. But we are going to remind you about Will. Will's a neutered male black domestic short hair, 7 years old. Will's number is 230369. Come down and adopt Will today.
I mean, this is a nice, quiet boy.
And very dry. Oh, this beautiful girl here is Dana. Dana's number is 226769, and Dana's a spayed female white and brown American shelter dog. It is 9 years old. And Dana is being shown today by Jamie, our new, tell me your title. I'm never going to get it right.
Animal Services Program Coordinator. That's a long one. I know.
Long one.
Animal Services Program Coordinator. That's not even a good, acronym.
No. No, it's
Wait a
not.
minute, isn't that ASPC? So if you just added an A to the end of it, you'd be right in line there,
Right?
right there.
Close enough.
Well, tell me about volunteering and what people need to do, because you're kind of like also the volunteer coordinator here, one of your functions. Talk to me about the process of volunteering and what you need to do if you want to be a volunteer here.
Sure, we always need more volunteers. We have a lot of seasonal volunteers, so we're always looking for new people to come in. We have a lot of animals that need socialization. They can go online and get all the information that they need. They come in, they go through orientation, some handling classes, decide if they want to do cats or dogs, and then we have them shadow with one of our seasoned volunteers too.
I like that, seasoned, experienced volunteers. Now, what are kind of some of the things that people can do? I know I've talked to some people and asked me about volunteering. Say, well, what all do they do? We see them on the show with Happy Tales, but what other kind of work do they do? What do the volunteers do? And I know it's not glamorous work, but let's talk about some of those chores.
There's stuff as simple as office help, so if you're not really, you want to be around the animals, but maybe don't want to handle them, they can come and stuff envelopes. We send out flyers, stuff like that. That's once a week. They can come participate in that. Or just here, we transport animals to humane societies, to vet appointments, so they could come participate with that too. Work with cats, work with dogs, Happy Tales, of course. And then we even have some people, if they're interested, they could work in the clinic if that was something they're interested in.
So there's a lot of different opportunities and functions you can do. So don't get determined in your mind.
Laundry.
Yeah,
We always
and
do
laundry.
I was going to remind you of that, but I didn't want to be the buzzkill, There is some laundry to be done. Because as you would imagine, there's a lot of towels that get used in a place like this. But now, I've dropped my paperwork on Dana. I want to remind everybody that Dana's a spayed female white and brown American shelter dog, is 9 years old. And Margie, what can you tell me about Dana? I know you work with the dogs.
I have to tell you, she is a sweetheart. You can see how good-natured she is and just relaxed.
Anna actually went out on just a little field trip today. One of the fosters took her out just for a few hours. I took her to her house so she could kind of play in the yard. Just took her out to the park, walked, got her a little bit of out time, car ride, which she loved. She said she was absolutely amazing in the car, and she had a great time. She was really relaxed and great with her husband. So that's even an opportunity too as a foster. If you can't bring them into your home, you can come and get them out for a few hours. To get
And
them
you
a
know
break.
what's really nice too? A lot of times the volunteers will take a dog home for the weekend,
Yep.
which is always fun
Call
to
those
do.
sleepovers.
Yes.
And it's really nice just to get the dog out and see a little bit of how they act in a home and give them a break
Right.
from such a
We're
crazy
gonna
environment.
get you
Such a
home.
great opportunity, rewarding for you, rewarding for the animals. We want to remind everybody that volunteerism is a great thing. If you can't volunteer, if that doesn't work out for you, maybe you can foster, bring them into your home. And of course, Marjorie, if you can't do either one of those, what do we ask you to do?
Donate.
To the Domestic Animal
Until it
Services
hurts.
Trust Fund. That is the way we use to care for animals that come in need of some medical attention before we can repopulate them, make them available for adoption. So that's one more great way to contribute. One more time, Dana's number is 226-769. Come adopt Dana today. Oh, this is Sarge, and Sarge is a gorgeous dog.
Isn't
Tell
he
me about
handsome?
Sarge.
His number is 233335. And he is 2 years old. He came into us as a stray. He weighs 66 pounds.
it's okay.
He is seeing the cats in here and kind of liking them. He's a beautiful boy, had to belong to somebody. And, that's the reason why we always encourage people to please microchip your pets, let them wear a collar with their identification, get them their license from Collier County. We have so many stray animals that come in here, it's just really a shame. A lot of them get picked up, reclaimed, but you know what? It's probably more that just end up as a stray.
He's not really this unsettled.
No.
I can only got one hand because I'm using a handheld mic
Yeah.
today. So we're getting some help on. But there's a lot of cats and rabbits in the room. And so I think we're just going to let Sarge
Okay.
go here. What's Sarge's number?
233335. Sarge is saying adopt me.
Well, this pretty little lady is Brooke, and Brooke's number is 227116. Brooke is a spayed female black and white domestic short hair and is about 18 months old. She came in May of this year, so she's looking for a home. She looks great here, but the photo on her kennel card is also fabulous. Showing Brooke today is Kira. And Kira, your title here, I want to get it right, and I'm not going to do it if you don't say it.
Shelter operations manager.
See, manager, director, I can't do it. I can't keep them straight. And now, talk to me about Marjorie, you set this up. You were talking about this.
Kira's like a magician and works magic. She gets more of our animals into different rescues, and of course says, "Can you drive to Manatee County?" Yes, I can. And it's just amazing. Sometimes the neediest dogs, Kira just finds a place for them to go, and she is just amazing. She has more compassion. I can't say enough about her.
Wow, you're actually tearing up talking about it. Well, that is part of the process at DS we should explore more and talk more about is, and that is placing some of our animals in rescue operations. How does that work exactly?
Yep. We partner with a lot of local humane societies, but also a lot of local smaller rescue groups as well. So we partner with a number of them. They fill out a very short application just to make sure we do a little bit of a background check just to make sure there aren't any big concerns or anything like that. Obviously, we want our animals going into better situations, not worse. But we work closely with them. We do everything from like breed specific, so Schnauzer rescues and things like that.
I was going to ask about that because I see a lot of that on social media. Dogs in particular have a lot of breed specific rescues.
Yes, absolutely. So if we get any breed specific animals in, I reach out to any of our partners that we have. We also have ones, a lot of our local humane societies are really great about doing some extra, especially medical and behavioral care than sometimes we can do in-house. So they're fantastic if they have different fosters for maybe orthopedic surgeries and things like that. They do everything they can, and then they'll just come and pick some animals and pull them as well. So.
What a great symbiotic relationship between all the animal agencies here in Collier County. All right, what's the furthest you've driven to taking an animal to a rescue agency?
Well, I haven't, but I've talked Marjorie into driving. The furthest frequent humane society that we use is Manatee County, so up in Bradenton. It's a little bit of a hike, though.
I've gone to Sarasota, I think.
Yes. LaBelle, we've gone out there as well. So a few of the areas.
I want to say my husband always comes with me, too. Once in a while, I get to drive that big county van, too, the one that
Yes.
Kira calls the couch.
Oh, this handsome guy here is Cisco, a beautiful male black-white dog, American Shelter dog, is 3 years old. Cisco's number is 236162, also a Grammy Award-winning artist.
Yes, he's a great dog. I mean, I love the way he just came in here and just sat
down,
like,
looks
I'm
right
on,
at the camera
I'm
and says, okay, let's get this going. Yeah.
Now he's looking for little treats on the floor, but he is a pretty boy, probably some kind of a lab mix. What does he weigh?
It says here about 60 pounds. That sounds
So
maybe-
he's full grown
yeah,
because he's
yeah.
3 years
Well,
old.
no, baby,
he's
those
a
are pretty
sweetheart.
fast.
And a
These
volunteer
actual
favorite.
white freckles on his face there?
I think so. I think so.
He's a cutie.
Hi, big
now,
boy.
he hasn't been here that long. He was owner surrendered. Okay, so we're going to need to find him a home because Cisco's used to being in a home.
And he is part of our All Hearts No Worms program. Please, people, give the dogs heartworm, get them microchipped, never shop,
Always adopt. That's
you know?
right. And we remind everybody about the microchipping. One thing we always talk about, get your dog microchipped. When you adopt from here, your dog is spay or neutered, up to date on shots, gets a microchip, and also gets a month of pet insurance. So you can't beat
And
this
that's
deal.
all for $20 this month.
Yeah, in the month of Dogtober.
And our cats right now and kittens are free. So can you imagine? I mean, what a service we're doing to the. For
One last
people
thing I
in
want to
the
say about
county.
microchips. Make sure if you've done the trouble to microchip your animals, keep the information up to date. You don't want anything worse in the world than thinking your animal's going to be coming home and then they're calling the address or the phone number you had 3 years ago. So
You know what? And I also keep a collar on my cat, Sophie, with a little heart that has her name and her phone number.
Oh yeah, I still do
because-
that. We still have that too on our dogs. So, and our dogs never go out without being on a leash, but we
But
still have
you
that.
need it for
That's
cats,
right.
too.
Well, you never know. You know, something accident could happen. So, one more time, let's get Cisco's number. Cisco is 236-162. Want to remind everybody one more time, Domestic Animal Services is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for adoptions. We're at 7610 Davis Boulevard, just east of the Boys and Girls Club, just east of Santa Barbara Boulevard. And our phone number is 252-PETS. That's 252-7387. There's a cat watching me from a window over here, and he's making me very nervous.
That's a wonderful cat, by the way.
See, we've got so many cats, they're in every room down here. So come on down, get a cat, get a dog. But one more time, Cisco, 236-162. I hope you had as much fun in our 300th episode celebration as we did.
Yeah.
We've got this fabulous cake here. These people are going to be so mad because it's a dog food cake. It's really not. It's a people cake, and we're all going to eat it. But I want to thank all of our wonderful, our Director of Public Services, I hope I got that right, Steve Carnell, who's right back here. Our DAS Director, Darcy Andrade, who's right here. And Steve, you want to say something?
Yeah.
I'm saying 300 episodes. That's amazing. I'm ready for 300 more.
We'll try to do that. We'll try to do that. One more congratulations to Jamie right down here, our new volunteer coordinator. Yay! So until next time, remember everybody, happy tails!
You're watching Collier Television, bringing government home.
I've come up with the family emergency plan.
What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
Me too. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.